he the only reason why I do not get violent. Ay, cause he gave me patience. Ay, swear that all makes sense. Ay, when you making bands, can make fans. Cause I know they tryna shit like Ray-Bans. Got a bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't gotta pay rent. Ay, I know we the ones that ain't them. Pull both hands together and I'm saying amen. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going bigger. Postmates, how I deliver. My game too cold, made it shiver. But I'm still a hot boy, cool it down, let it simmer. Hey, see him mad, got him bitter. Can't stop the shine with a dimmer. Only what I give her, and she let her call me baby, but I do not need a sitter. See me dip, yeah, I'm saucing. People at the bank see me often. Let the money run, it's a faucet. She gave me the that's a boss is. Took over the game, now we all in. I was down in the chips, then went all in. Throwing up the game, ain't no vomit. Make my mama stop working, that's the promise. Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm P-P-P-Lo, time to bring the bass back.
It's a lot of money, why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Go yo, then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello? That's the Chad calling. Let me click over real quick to let my Chad talk it. I eat it. Ooh, Pac-Man, that's the...
Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Ford Field tunnels, and the noise level in this place just about off the charts. They are set for football as the Lions get ready to do battle with the New York Giants. Fielded about a yard deep. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Check safety, check safety.
They'll run. Anderson looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
Leads to second and goal at the 7-yard line.
They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
Now it's Stanford into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Amendola, the intended receiver.
Here we go. 60 outlaw.
Here's the former number 2 pick, the Pro Bowler Saquon Barkley. He'll have a first down and more past the 20. And a cutback right sideline. And down to the 28-yard line. A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. 66 yards. So they had him bottled. Up, able to make a man miss, and then boom, off to the races.
And it's how he made him miss. A little bit of strength, too. Had to work through contact to get him off of him. And then once he did that, now he put his agility to use and took off.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Now Jones. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Golden Tate, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Rosas good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Check the backer, check the backer.
59!
Now Stafford. And his throw here is incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson. And it's 3rd and short. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Stafford on 3rd down. Open man is Anderson. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Anderson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Flushed out right. And he slides to avoid the hit. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Kareem Martin up to make the tackle. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. Now the 5th-year man from South Dakota State. This is Zach Zenner. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Check nine.
Stafford on first down. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
50.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Flush to his right. Caught on the right side by Jones. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 11 yards there, first down.
Let's go, D. Switch it.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, second and goal. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on second and goal. Out of the gun, Stafford. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Lorenzo Carter in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
It's not like you're going negative on that.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So,
well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, exit.
57, Mike 57. Stop your whining. Hey, check Mike 57.
Operating from the gun. Jones finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And an alley to run. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the third down play.
And the Giants first down.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. And they give this time to the tailback. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Out to the right here to Shepard. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. They come out here in the eye. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And an alley to run. The 40, the 30, the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. That kickoff return, 104 yards, as his guys are back within a single score.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now with touchbacks coming back to the 25 instead of the 20, when guys fielded that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want them to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. The intended target, Saquon Barkley. And that'll bring up second down.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Jones throwing again. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. A healthy Evan Ingram, that could be a great elixir for New York this year. The season ago, he only played in 11 games because of the injuries, 35 catches, which was a dip down from 2 seasons ago when Ingram caught 64 passes. Throwing, Jones, and he slings one that's incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Hey, 4 down. Kill.
Throwing again. Jones. Going for the deep ball. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And he gets us to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Stafford. Caught by Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there and a first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Stafford.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that will be incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. On the return, it's Tate. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Well, they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
He's brought down at the 37-yard line. 1 yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Going with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Jones now. From the gun, he'll throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Lions will take over.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. To throw again, Stafford, and that's off the mark, incomplete. C.J. Anderson, the intended target, but now it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Wasn't it fun in pregame standing downstairs and watching Matthew Stafford throw the football? I mean, that bad boy just whistled.
He can just rock it.
It just whistled by us, didn't it? But what is the one knock on him? Accuracy.
Yeah.
And that's what we just saw there, an incompletion on that throw downfield.
A first update now out of Jacksonville. And the Jaguars have scored again, so they are in the driver's seat big time in that one. I would definitely imagine we'll hear more from that game as we go along. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On the draw, this is Barkley. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
The Giants on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Jones, operating from the gun. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Shedding through the defense. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already.
Yeah, let's go sack lunch.
From the gun, Stafford. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. And now we'll get a late timeout. as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. There for the sack, B.J. Hill.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Throwing is Stafford. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They start the drive with Anderson. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now a pass dumped off to his running back. Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Stafford. It's caught, Jones. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. A big play there for Detroit. 52 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone.
Hey, 22!
From the gun, Stafford. Escaping the pressure right. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive. knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And it's caught. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Kenny Golladay, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Now Prater to add the PAT. And he's got it to make this a 21-17 game. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Rosas now to add the PAT. And that one pushes the lead up to 11.
Makes the score Giants 28, Lions 17.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Throwing again. Stafford. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Danny Amendola, that was the intended target, and it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Stafford. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. Now it's Tate. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That's something we saw over and over again in Barkley's rookie season. He had 91 catches last year, most ever by a rookie running back, part of a fantastic rookie campaign that saw him go over 2,000 total yards. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain there of 21 yards.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Looking to throw. Jones. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched it all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
Break.
Here's Jones to throw on third down. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And there he goes again. He's at the 40, 20, 10, touchdown, Detroit. He goes 105 yards on the kick return as his guys are back within a single score.
I can't help it, partner. I get fired up. 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns in the same game. This is fun to watch.
Yeah, we call a lot of games in a lot of different places. Sometimes it seems like we do it simultaneously, but we rarely get to see this. Prater for the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
132 fighter.
Kill, turn up. Sponge. No.
Again, it's Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Let's get it.
Here we go. 18 Gator. Next 3. 218, chop it. 5.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And an alley to run. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 1st down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. And the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. Picked by Tracy Walker.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football. And at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Hey, 5-0.
After the interception, here's Stafford. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Lorenzo Carter has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Back to throw, Stafford. His throw incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. 3rd down here. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Stafford. Got his man complete over the middle. That's James. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A 3rd down gain of 19. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. If you're thinking of a comeback here, you go to 2016. That's when Stafford had an NFL record 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. But last year, despite playing all 16 games, he had 0. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now a run with Anderson. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. B.J. Goodson there on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. That's caught right side by Anderson. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure, and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Forced out to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Brings up second and 3.
Throwing again on second down. Stafford. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Let's go.
Got it.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. A throw over the middle, taken in. 27 yards there, a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Jones now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. It's Barkley on the counter, and he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
I got trick this side. We got 3.
From just shy of midfield, Jones. That's complete left side to Shepard. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 39. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Ready to go.
Well, first down carry for Barkley. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Brings up second and 12 at the 41-yard line.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down.
57, come on. Let's put him on the buses.
Jones from the gun, he'll throw. Looking deep downfield. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. Stafford now to throw. Over the middle, it's Amendola. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now a leaping catch, he's got it.
Get ready.
A gain of 10 yards. That's good for the Lions. First down. First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Stafford to his tight end, James. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Now it's Stafford. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. This defense hasn't had the best showing in this game, but a critical knockdown there. If they can hang on, I guess the end will kind of justify the means.
Certainly, and just think of it this way. It may not be the quantity of the plays that they've had because those haven't been great, but they get a few more quality ones like that. That could finish things off for them.
Back to throw. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 39. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Hey, 54.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Lorenzo Carter in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. It's caught out right, Amendola. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down. Now Stafford. And that is incomplete. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. They snap it to Stafford. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Giants are going to get the football back. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride. I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Giants, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions, things are definitely going south quickly as they fall now to 1-6, and they'll be off to Oakland next week for a date with the Raiders. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.